Bueno, nosotros hemos traído un poco de tarta para celebrar la última.
Gracias, yo me apunto, Jochen. Manda un trocito para Dinamarca. Gracias.
Okay, I think that Erica has his computer frozen, so I don't know, Danny, if you want to start while she's entering again the Zoom. I don't know if you want to introduce you a little bit or something like that.
I prefer, Alex, if you want to make a little introduction and then I start, I can. Or if you want, I can introduce myself and just go ahead.
Yeah, better introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, so hi, I'm Danny Vidal, and I'm part also of the Resilience Earth Cooperative, and also I'm part of the PAMAPAM, that is a tool from the Social and Solidarity Economy in Catalonia. And after this little introduction, I will explain more about this tool. And well, first of all, I hope are you enjoying this time in this training. I know that it is the last day, and I hope that my presentation today it's good as all the past sessions. Okay. Well, the thing that I have prepared for today is just 2 blocks. I think that you have the link for the mural or not, Alex. I don't know if you have shared. Okay, great.
Yeah, you have it on the chat.
Great. Thanks. If you can click on the link and just go to the mural and scroll down or focus on the session 12, you will see the agenda for today.
Yeah, Danny, I don't know if you want to share a screen for those who
okay.
are with a mobile phone or an iPad.
Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Just let me a second. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Just wait a moment, please. Okay. Then I hope each of you can see at least the shared screen. Yeah. The agenda for today, as you can see, is just this introduction that we having now. Then I will talk a little about the transformative economies from this perspective, the forest of the transformative economies. And then I will also introduce this PAMAPAM tool. That is a tool that we have thought from this perspective of the social and solidarity economy to evaluate and also to think about our projects, our communities, our organizations, no, and all the activities that we do. And after the first part of the session, we continue with the next steps and the evaluation, no, the participatory evaluation of all this training, no, the community catalyst training, yeah, to the closing. So if you can you hear me okay? Can you make some feedback, visual or voice that?
We can hear you and we can see the screen.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the feedback. During all the session, if in any moment I will invite you to share your feedback or just tell your opinion or ask questions, whatever you need or want, are welcome.
I need to say something now.
Great.
I am, unfortunately, I got a telephone call that my children's father has has had a little accident with a bicycle and he cannot pick up my children. So I have to leave.
Oh.
And I'm very sorry because it's the last day and I was very much looking forward. I'll see the session later on. And I just want to say thank you so much for all the team, to all the team of Resilience. It has been super nice, super interesting. And well, keep in touch. I hope that we find a way to keep in touch and keep doing things together.
Yeah, gràcies, Eulàlia. Espero que no sigui res.
Espero que no sigui res, sí. Merci.
Thank you. Take care.
Una abraçada.
Igualment. Yeah. Sí.
Well, I've said that all the feedback is welcome, and I hope there's no more feedback like that. I hope everyone is keep themselves safe. And okay, let's go then. The forest of transformative economies. Why I put this illustration or this little graphic? If you want, also as I'm talking or presenting the issue, you can also play with the people who can play with a mural. Also can get the tree and put the notations that believe it's important or not to share whatever you want. Yeah. Also in the part of the roots values that I'm going to explain later, but as I explain or as you think that it's necessary or important, you can just pick it and write down any information you consider useful, and we'll work together as well. Okay. Let's go then. Why the forest? No. I like to put the forest to frame that the social and solidarity economy is a expression in a concrete context with its history and its cultural and historical frame. Yeah, because it's a way of thinking and present the alternative to the capitalist mainstream, we can say, or the mainstream thinking, the way we organize enterprise or corporations or our communities. And if it's possible that during all the session and all this training of today, when we talk about, you say that's social solidarity economy or SSE economy. Oh, I thought that was, or that was another concept, that was another expression there. And that's true. It's also true. Social solidarity economy is a way that we express these values that we have in the bottom, in the roots. Yeah, and it's the expression to propose forms or organize and produce and do whatever we do collectively, especially incorporating these principles or values. No, can be like equity, solidarity, inclusion, community commitment, sustainability, democracy or participatory. Yeah, but it depends on the sector or the historical tradition or the geographical context. It's possible that the tree that emerge, the peers, takes one name or another. It's possible to say or to talk about feminist economy, economy for the common good, all these labels that I put it down here in the graphic, because it's a way that we have the common ground. Yeah, we have these roots with values. We propose to organize different forms of express our labor, or to just do whatever we do in our communities. And it depends on our interest or our traditions. We can talk about fair trade, because we are really focused in the relations, the commercial relations between the North and the global South, or we are more just talking about communitarian economy, because we are talking about the relationships and the way we do things in a concrete neighborhood or little village, for example. So if during the session we think, hey, I have heard about that, but I've never say that it was SSE, or you have another name or expression, feel free also to put a tree, or just to tell and share to the rest of the group, to say, hey, why do you say social and solidarity economy? That's another thing for me. Okay, I think it can be interesting. Yeah. And to add a little bit more about the context, no? As I say that the SS economy is something expressed for that concrete context, I would say that, no, in the case of this expression, it's the roots of the social economy are based on the 19th. I have some problems with the years in English. 19th century, yeah, with the born of the cooperativism and the mutualism and all those expressions of the working class that organize themselves to supply some necessities, some needs, and to try to organize a way of work that put democracy and the needs of the people in the center. Yeah, it's born in that moment in the history, and concretely in Catalonia also it's really linked with the anarchism. And it's important to say that we see the world in this from this concrete context. Yeah. And if I have to say something, because I feel also that my English sometimes is if you need to ask something or you want to clarify any question, you also can. Yeah. Right. Well, if you follow the mural, sorry, because I wasn't ready to share it, and now with my laptop, it's a little bit more difficult from. Okay. Yeah. Then let's go. If you see this part of the mural, yeah, you have some links here. That's chess, ripes, and pam.
Danny, I was wondering, could you share the screen, especially for those who watch this afterwards? If you can share the screen of the mural, or maybe you are and I'm not seeing it.
I'm sharing.
Okay. Oh, because I'm on my phone. Never mind. Thank you.
Okay. If there's anyone that who's not seeing the mural, no, I think that everyone is seeing the screen. Yeah, the mural.
Yeah. Yes, we can see it perfectly.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay, then let's go to the SSE tools. If you want, also, while we are explaining about this frame, the triple sustainability analysis from the solidarity economy in Catalonia, you have links in chess, ripes, pam, also in financial management, this tank. You have also a link and the Creative Commons as well. Some of these you know already, maybe not. I have to say that chess and pam is in Catalan, that it's probably that you need to translate through any tool that you have in your browser. But I wanted to link it to show which is the source and the network who is producing this framework of analysis. And also I add RIPES because CHES, that is the Solidarity Economy Network from Catalonia, is linked also to another network that is RIPES, that is international. Yeah, and that website is in English, so it will be easier to understand. Yeah. And also from PAM, I have added this web image that we are using this tool to the analysis that I'm going to explain afterwards to identify and find all the solidarity economy initiative, organizations or corporations that exist in Catalonia, to put it together in a map. Yeah, so we are using this tool to think about our projects, as I'm going to explain you, and also to build this map to facilitate, to make easier to the citizenship to find all the projects, places to buy or to consume, or just to know that are working and doing things this perspective, of transformation economics. Yeah. Okay. So let's go. Why do I say triple sustainability analysis? From the PAM tool, trying to brief a little bit, to summarize, and also accepting that it's impossible to make a perfect tool, and that means that each years we make a process of co-create again all the questionnaire we have to evaluate the projects. We think that the things that they have a common, all these trees that we find in the forest of the transformative economies, is 3 blocks, 3 impacts, we can say. There's a inner dimension, It's asking how the organizations, how the community, how the corporations are working indoors, how are taking in consideration some issues related with the inner dimension of the community or the organization. Then we have a social impact, and we have all these criteria that I'm going to explain later. And then we can see this environmental impact. Surrounding each main impact, inner, social, environmental, and environmental, you will find another criteria that I'm going to explain. And as you can see, we have lots of little criteria in social impact. That can, why is that? That shows how the community that we are thinking in the PAM community, all these people that we are thinking about how to analyze, how to think about the solidarity economy, have a bias. We are people from the third sector or social movements or from these sectors, and we have a lot of critic view surrounding the social impact, but maybe we have less tools or less abilities to identify the challenges surrounding the environmental impact. It's just looking how are described every area of impact. We can see that we have our weaknesses. With some areas where we are not precise enough. And yeah, well, we have defined these three areas of impact, and we use that to evaluate, identify, and think about our organizations. And I'm going to explain from each of these areas of impact a little bit more of each criteria. Okay. And also, as you can see here, on there's this question, is it, do you miss any criteria, or if you want to add any other information, you can also pick these stickers and just put more information. Yeah, and maybe if you have seen anything that want to ask or just say, also you can say it now. Okay, then inner dimension. In which aspects we focus or put our attention when we try to analyze, from the SSE perspective, how it works, organization or any project. From one hand, we ask for democracy or participation. We want to ask or help to think about how is all the decision-making process. How do we incorporate or not all the members of an organization, and also if we take care of all the debates or all the discussions that are necessary to produce a good decision in terms of democracy. Also, we have all the personal development area. That is an area when we ask to the organization if they are taking in consideration all the needs of the people who is part of the corporation or the association or the community. Have we asked if we are taking care of the needs of the people of the organization? That's here we can find matters of training, education, or whatever other needs that can be useful to improve the abilities or the skills of our people. Also, we ask for decent jobs. Are we able, or do we have the capacity to offer decent jobs to our people? Because it's possible that an organization it's so cool in their challenges or the things that they are doing, but maybe in terms of economics or to generate incomes, it's not able to offer decent jobs. So we ask also if they are able. And finally, in this inner dimension, we ask for the feminist. Oh, sorry for the spelling mistake. Yeah, feminist. Okay, that's feminist perspective. We are asking till which way the organization is thinking, if they are reproducing the I don't know how to say in English, the patriarchy, or all the I don't know if Erika, can you help me with the translation? But no, doesn't matter.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to figure out my internet situation.
No, I just wondering how to translate patriarchat or machismo. I don't know how to say.
No, patriarchy and machismo. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because as we know that we are developing our activities and our organizations in a patriarchal society, we have to think about how to avoid that our organization, how to prevent and how to work on that, that we develop an organization that is masculine or patriarchal or whatever. Yeah. Each criteria, now I'm just summarizing very fast and telling the main questions that are around, but I have to say that each criteria has itself 5 sub-criteria to describe everyone. Okay, so I'm just trying to make a general vision. to talk about how we try to summarize these transformative economies forest, yeah, and then we can talk about, yeah, which things do you miss, or if something that have surprised you, or if you try to apply that to your organizations, how do you feel? Yeah, that's after the inner dimension, we have the social impact dimension there, and then we ask for several items. We can talk about suppliers, no? Especially in terms of corporations or any economic initiative, no? And in that criteria for us is very important to ask from for the closeness of the supplier. Yeah, we want to put on value the interest of the organizations to find suppliers that are near, that are close from them, and suppliers who you will have a relation. You have with suppliers that are not only a place to consume. No, I want to look for any product. No, you want to. We think that it's better for the community if you look a supplier which you are going to engage. You want to create engagement, yeah, to know how is going for each one, yeah, and it's closed and in relation with intercooperation. No, we ask for organizations if they try to work together, to create projects, to articulate networks, to do whatever. Yes, before or at the time that your organization is thinking what do we need to do, if this process is beginning together with other agents or due to that process alone. No? Then we have another criteria, it's transparency, that you can easily imagine what do we ask for. No? If you show your inner information or not, if you show how you produce or how do you do, or how you organize yourself. No, it's easy. You have tools to show and to be transparent. Then we have the non-privative license. If you produce any kind of content, you try to use a license like Creative Commons or other copyleft licenses to share this content, or you keep it in a privative way. Then for us also is very important to talk about the territorial arrangement, no? In which way you have links, or how are you engaged with the place you live and you work and you develop your activity. No? You know who are your neighbors, you know which traditions, you know I don't know how to say, it's kind of the spirit of the place to be in relation with that, or your activity can be done in anywhere. No? In which way you are nourishing, no, all the needs of the place you live, you work, no, you develop your activity. We also ask for the social transformation, and when we talk about that, we ask for in which way you identify or you see yourself as a part of these social transformation movements. No, you see that we want to change the hegemonic capitalism. No, we want to propose another way of life and work, and and this stuff. And as you recognize that you are part of that movement, if you give support to other social movements, if you work together, no, with other associations or platforms or networks that fight, no, that are fighting against capitalism in that term, yeah, or building social, building community. No? And finally, in the social impact area, we have this financial management. And I also introduced this link here, that it's Banca Armada, that although the title is in Catalan or Spanish, if you click, you will go to the last center, that is an international database center, where you can find lots of information of the impact that all our money or financial products like insurance and other stuff have with the arming industry. No, you can see for countries and also for financial products, which part of them are investing in the army industry. Yeah, so it's interesting to, we ask for the associations, organizations, etc., if they know where the money is, you know, which bank are, and if they know if having money in that bank means this kind of impacts. No. Also in this area, in the financial management, we put in value, or we recognize these other strategies like exchange or social money or social coins or time banking, no, whatever other strategy or movement that try to articulate the exchange of resources or the services without using money. No? Find other alternatives that can be more democratic or more fair. Yeah. Okay. And finally, we have this environmental impact. When we analyze organizations, when we analyze projects, we also consider till which point this initiative, this organization is considering all these impacts. For example, around energy. Are you making some kind of investment in any, how to say, in any mean to produce your own energy, your own green energy? Are you supplying your activities with any company that it's focused on green energy? Think about that. Or if you have any building or place where do you do your activity, have you done something to improve the climate efficiency of the place? Then we ask for if the organization is considering their impact. When I have written down ecology, just in the sense that we ask if the organization is aware till which point its activity has a footprint in the environment, and if they are doing something to reduce it or compensate or whatever. Yeah. And finally, there's the waste management. It's near impossible to see an activity that doesn't produce waste, and in that case, it's important to ask what to do with this waste. To reduce, recycle, use this waste for to give to other organizations or corporations that can use it to produce another thing, in terms of circular economy. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, someone is asking about water, Where can water be considered? Yeah, it's interesting. You say, I don't know who has written down, but maybe someone want to say
Danny.
something.
It was me. I was thinking if we consider, if we look at ecology, we can include all of this inside. But as you mentioned, energy separatedly, I was thinking about water. Couldn't it be also a separate resource to analyze the use of water, the waste of water? How do we manage this? I don't know.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Paula. Yeah. as I said in the beginning, as much as I explained that model, no, as I see more and more that we have been so focused on the social impact, and we have no, yeah, we have to develop more all this packet, no, all this package of the environmental impact, and see how to analyze this kind of stuff, no, water that are essential considering the global context that we are living, no? But nowadays we have these limitations, no? But thank you for the quotation. Anyone has more doubts or things to add?
Can I jump in? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
please.
just wanted to, I also put it in a chat, that like great example of solidarity economy in Europe are Italian solidarity purchase group. They are called GAS. I think that they are also one of the first alternative economies that are actually also already they have a law about it in Italy. It started bottom up and they went like all, I don't know, this is some, I think it's like 10 years ago or so, they actually made a law out of it in Italy because of the pressure of the bottom up initiatives. And I'm also buying, for example, most of the food I eat from this gas group in Gorizia. I have like in the region, there are several per region, it's a network and it works very well. It's very well established. And even now, for example, with you can see how resilient they are even now with COVID. They are actually doing better than before.
Yeah.
So it's really great example. And I've put it like in a chat. There is a like analysis from ResearchGate. It's an article. It's open if you want to read it.
Great. Thank you. Yeah. Nice. Also, if anyone want to share other examples that maybe you can know from your knowledge of other projects or initiatives, or maybe some of these criteria or issues have made you thought about your own organizations and say, well, yeah, I don't know exactly how we doing in that issue.
I can share that when you were talking about the organization, so about the inner analysis, as you mentioned, the feminist perspective from patriarchal societies, I was also thinking about the poorest people, considering that we, at least I think that most of us live in capitalist societies. So maybe we tend to forget a little bit of this other perspective. So I don't know, if I'm a company, let's say a commercial company, do I take that into consideration? Yes, I have decent jobs, let's say, but can I have another way to help the poorest employees that I have? I don't know, maybe something like this.
I think you could add like fair share within the organization, and that there is another like, okay, it's theoretic example from Hutchins and Storm, their book Regenerative Leadership, I think it is, and they are talking about this transformation shift from machine organization to the organic organization. And it's very nice example how to transform actually the organizations we have now to like being more organic, more regenerative in that sense. That includes also fairness, fair share, and all these kind of things.
Yeah. Now, you made me thought that made me think that I think I have forgotten some of the one of the social impact criteria, there's another one. It's social inclusion, we say, and that's exactly, but maybe, yeah, we can discuss also if it has to be in the inner part or social impact. And it's a criteria then ask for in which way the organization is seeing and considering that in this capitalist society we are living, there's a lot of people that it's excluded for many reasons. That can be class, racial, lots of issues. And are you trying to prevent that your organization is excluding people? No, just it can be also in the contractation, your employees, or just invites you to think if your activities or all the actions that you're doing can be reproducing some exclusions. No? Maybe you haven't considered, but it's possible that maybe you are, without knowing, you are excluding some kind of people because you are not aware enough about some of them. No? Yeah. I don't know. There's maybe other opinions or things to do, to say, any reflections. Also can be written on the chat if you prefer. Or
Yeah, I just wanted to, it's me again. That actually, like, this kind of let's say alternative economies are what interesting is that they are actually working within the existing capitalist system, which is also important to highlight, because they can actually survive and work under the existing system. So not under, but in the existing system, which I think it's even more important that, that these small transformations happen and maybe then spread. Like, that's why I was mentioning also the example of Italy that actually came into the legislation. So it's not like totally ignoring the existing system, the existing capitalistic system, but living and working within this one.
Yeah, and saying that, you have remind me also that from this chest, from the Catalan Solidarity Economy Network, one of the challenges that we are now proposing ourselves is to build these, chains, of solidarity economic initiative that supplies, till the origin, to the consumer. That now we have identified that we have many and several activities in different parts of the producing and commercial chains in the capitalist structure, and we are asking ourselves how to do to create our value chain of solidarity economy. Try to organize to see if we can build that.
Yeah, this is exactly what GAS is doing in Italy. We are like, there is from, if we talk about agriculture, it's from farm to fork.
Great.
It's I'm buying straight from the farmers, and farmers are also in the network. So they actually, like, if I want, because I'm on the north, if I want like oranges from the south, I will have oranges from the south, but for the same price as they are sold from the farmer from the south, because they are connected through this network with the farmers from the north. But those farmers, they don't charge them like shop, like markets do, but because it's solidarity economy, they are doing them like a favor, or they are just doing like I don't know, maybe this one it's selling zucchini on the south, I don't know, but what's the deal. But still, and the funny thing is that, well, most of these farmers, they are like almost activists, and in this network, they're all biological or ecological farms. But the funny thing is that at the end, the food they sell, the veggies and the fruit, it's even cheaper than traditionally grow food that you will buy in a marketplace. It's because you don't have this like in between people who take all this money, and these are small farmers. We are not talking about big farmers, but and they're super resilient.
Wow, it sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah. So it's last opportunity to say anything, to share any other examples, or to say whatever you want to say. And if not, we will continue.
Yeah, I can share something about. There's one organization that is not very common, not very known, because it's very English, very British English, and it's founded by Christopher Horton Butt. This is a bank historian that decided once in his life to dedicate his life to the metamorphosis of capitalism. And he bases his books and his studies and his network, which is called the Associative Economics Institute, is based on the vision of Rudolf Steiner and anthroposophy. He in the 1920s had a strong vision about how economy was rising in Earth and how it can be used to produce something good and in an associative way. So yeah, recommending this link, I will put it in the chat to the Associative Economics Institute.
Great, thanks. Also, if you have another, if anyone has other, exactly. If anyone wants to write down in the chat any other resources, really welcome.
I have like a technical request. If you can please like send in the normally.
We don't hear you.
Yeah.
Julia, right? Julia, we don't hear you.
Yeah, it seems it's frozen. Well. Okay, well. So we can wait a moment to see if Julia can send the question or the request. And if not, I don't know if, well, now I see Alex is talking on the telephone, but we can just follow with the session. seems there's no more ideas, opinions, anything to share. Yeah, so Alex, I don't know if we have to follow.
Julia is entering again, so I don't know if she wants to make her question.
Great.
Sorry, Erica was calling me. She's having some trouble with the computer, so I don't know if you were talking about Erica or something. Have you finished, Danny, your presentation?
Yeah. I'm just wondering if Julia has its a question, whatever.
Hi, Julia. We didn't hear you.
Yeah,
you were frozen.
there was yeah, I was saying that just if you can put in the usual mail the link that the other participants are suggesting, because today I'm from an iPad and then I cannot like copy them and save them to check later. Yeah, just this.
Okay, then thanks. And I know Alex, how we should continue.
I think that Erica is hearing us. I don't know if she can say something, because I think that the last hour we had to solve some questions from the other sessions. Look here. Do you hear us, Erica?
Yeah. Sorry, I had to change house and computer. So thank you. I don't know if there was any other questions though for Danny on social solidarity economy before we go into the next bit. So, like I heard some of them, but I was changing house, so I couldn't hear it all. No. Okay. All right. So, and I have to apologize because I'm on my cell phone, so I can't see all the faces, unfortunately. Okay. Hey, we have Gerard. Super as well. Okay. And Julia. All right. And Miriana. Okay, so we are actually just entering now the final phase of the course. This is the last class. Oscar really wanted to be here, but we also teach in a master's program in the University of Girona. So we played some more and I won, so I get to do it. So he's teaching at the master's class. But so we essentially just had a couple of questions to really pick up on some of the really interesting ideas that were coming out at the last part of the class last Monday. And if you go into the mural, unfortunately I can't use Zoom, Alex, so I don't know if you would be able to I'm just going to add another bit here. So essentially, we had a couple questions. So there was some ideas that were really interesting, but here I really want to open up a space for anything that comes out. So there was a PC collab, the idea of moving the channel of community catalysts to this wider permaculture network that seemed to have a lot of support. And because there are more people here, maybe we can explain a little bit about. There was changes or projects or
and she's gone.
Yeah, we lost her. Erica, can you hear us?
I think we should have another session next week.
She's gone. She had really a lot of troubles with the computer. She had to move to another house with the bicycle. It's raining a lot, and poor Erica, she's having a. Okay, Erica, I don't know if you can keep your camera. Maybe we can.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Hear you better. I don't know.
Okay, so I don't know when I got cut off. When was it?
A long ago.
A long time ago. Okay, goodness. All right. So if you go into the mural, and maybe Alex, if you could share the screen, and we can zoom in to next steps. Okay. And so here, essentially what we wanted to do was to create a space where people can share some ideas, and we can map them out here. But there was a couple ideas that came out last time, which was to migrate or move the Slack channel of Community Catalysts to the PC Collab. So it's a co-laboratory for permaculture initiatives. And that seemed to have a lot of support. I know there are some new people that weren't on the call last time, but just to give you an idea, or maybe Maya, or Anna, you guys are both really active. If you want to explain a bit more about what Collab is.
Anna, better you. I'm not very active on that channel because there are like every time I open it, there's so much information. I'm like, oh no. So Anna, maybe you go. I don't think Anna, are you here? I don't think Anna is here, but yeah, I can shortly talk about what it is. So basically, it's an initiative from, I think that the Permaculture Association from England started it, and they are doing this experiment of platform, actually networking platform, or how it's called, the. Okay, so then you have on Slack, you have different channels of your interest. One is, I don't know, also for coaches and training and so on and so on. A lot of people are there. They are very active. They have also this co-working, like virtual co-working days once per week, I think. And it's very like live and vibrant community. And I suggest, if you have time, if you have like really interest to this, you can join them. Now, I don't know what's the procedure, but I can share the link in a chat again. How it was, Permaculture Collab. And you have different circles. They call them circles. So you have digital circle, you have stewardship circle, welcoming circle, etc., etc. You will find all this in this link. If you scroll down, you will see, and you can join these circles. But I think that the digital, which one? It's Slack, actually. I don't remember. But I think the digital one is Slack, yeah. And there are different. I think I saw there our training. Not sure. I'm opening it now. So yeah. And you have like affinity groups, like education and training and capacity funding, etc., etc. I can only see a few channels now, but yeah.
Exactly. So thank you very much, Maya. So I made the request, and in principle, he's Nana, who is one of the administrators, is moving it forward. And so this is something we can announce. I think the best way is by email to everybody, so everybody can be invited to that one. And I don't know if there's any questions on that. It was just to pick up that last proposal last time. Okay.
Erika, I
yeah.
have question. I always
Yeah.
have questions. No, because I was looking. I don't know if I understood correct. Like that, there are like 3 or 4 phases of your project. So one is like catalyst training, and then the like 4th or 3rd one is like creating some kind of network of coaches and expanding this to other countries too, or I didn't understand that well.
So this is a small training that we invested in, it's true, a larger project called Community Catalysts. And so the first session, the first 2 years, well, it all overlaps by a year, but the first 2 years, the project was on the regenerative development. So like the kind of the foundation, the ecological aspect of our work. And all of that you can find, I can maybe add that, well, yeah, I think all of you have that that link. It's the WeLand was created with this, all of the resources in the toolkit. Now we're in the social solidarity economy portion, and in May we'll be applying to the 3rd phase, which is community resilience. So these are essentially projects that are just to generate toolkits, videos, an educational platform, and resources. But the idea is just to really try and create a mutual network.
Erika, you're on mute.
Hi.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yes.
So it's what we are finding was that there are a lot of people that are doing similar work, and but there's not really that many resources available, or necessarily a community of practitioners in this field of like those 3 areas: social solidarity economy, plus regenerative development, plus community resilience. So part of our proposal here is, how do you see that we can contribute to establishing more sharing? And it doesn't have to be formal, or it could be formal. So yeah, that's a great question, Maya, because I would bounce that back to you guys. Because what we can do is we can offer more places where we can exchange, or even we've given our Erasmus application content to other people so that they can run similar workshops or use the framework to run activities in their own countries and bring people there. And so, yeah, we're really, really open to pretty much anything. Like our philosophy is everything has to be open source. So the more we share, the more it grows.
That's so great. Thanks.
My pleasure. Anything else? Any other? I don't know if that answered the question properly, or if anybody else, other questions?
Let me just share that I've sent a list of a lot of questions for you guys by email, so that
Wonderful.
you can answer on your time, because I'm pretty sure that we wouldn't be able to answer all of them today. But yes, my question was one of the questions that I had, and there are a lot of them. I don't know. Maybe we can hear other questions here, and if there are not more, I can share one or two of the ones that I've sent to you. I don't know.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, maybe you can ask a couple, and then we can collect other ones. So here's basically a space for next steps. Where do you guys see it going? And if you have any crazy ideas, we're always open to those. Paula?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, or Julia. Okay.
Paula was talking. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have some idea. Like, I would like to really put in practice all the exercise you gave me, but like I feel like I need some support. Like, I don't know, to figure out which one can be more useful, watching like my organization's needs, or I don't know, have kind of support and suggestion to how to use the exercise while the process is going. I don't know. But I don't have a precise idea. But I feel like that's my need at the end of this experience together. So like to have a group to explore like mutual minds and mutual experience. Like we have now a common language, and that will be useful to brainstorm ideas and process to use in our organizations. Yeah, and I need practice. Like I need.
Okay, so there are two things there. One is to practice. The other one would be how to support each other while we test out these tools and frameworks. So what I see is the
I think you're already muted.
Yeah, Rico, you are muted. Or frozen.
She can't see the chat, right? Because she's on her phone.
Yep.
Maybe if you write to her in a mural. Big sticky. Erica, we don't hear you.
Can you hear me now? I'm so sorry. Goodness gracious. Oh, thank you for your patience. No, I was just, what I can see is in terms of practicing, that, like, to answer Julia, that there could be some really interesting activities that we could do, like in terms of exchanges. For example, we've given the description of this Erasmus Plus K1, which is like a training, hosting a training to other organizations who have adopted it and held K1 trainings in their own countries. So I think, you know, there could be a ripple effect if you guys have organizations and would like to bring people over to test things out. We did one that was, this is how the Community Catalyst training came out, actually. And this is how I met Julia, actually, was several years ago. We met an organization in Sicily. And we liked them so much that we invited them through a K1 to do a brainstorming session on what radical projects, transformative projects we could do. And a K2 was born, like this key action to big project of Erasmus Plus. So those are examples of where this small project that we're doing right now, where that could go, you know. So these are, again, ideas. We really try and make all the content that we do hackable and open source for you guys just to take it and play with it. Because, for example, I'm sure you guys have tons of examples as well. So I'll just say this one thing. Say Maya hosts a K1, and she can invite, you know, people from Sicily, people from Turkey, people from Croatia and Portugal to check out what you're doing, or vice versa, or Ana Armando in Croatia. You know, this is what these small Erasmus projects are really great for. They're not, they're easy to do, and they and it's a wonderful way to meet people and really get a feeling, like Julia says, like how people are applying it, and also invite people to do it with you. So Anna has to go. Bueno. So I don't know if any other ideas here, but that's one of them that we could imagine.
Yeah, as I mentioned previously, like last time we had a meeting, I will be doing like small one with one module from Catalyst training with children. So Paula already asked me, she's also working with children, if I can share with her the thing I will be doing. It's an experiment. So let's see how it goes.
That's wonderful. That's exactly what we love to hear. That, yeah, that things happen between you guys, you know? Yeah. And also Lemmy, I don't know where you're based, if you're based in Girona or elsewhere, or if you, because I feel like you were from Kenya originally.
Yeah, I'm from Kenya. I moved from Girona. I'm now in Slovenia. I'm in Ljubljana.
Okay.
What? Seriously? You know that I'm from Slovenia.
Ah, yes, true.
Yes. I'm from Slovenia.
I thought you were from Italy.
I live in Italy, but I live like five minutes walking to border with Slovenia. I'm Slovene.
Ah, really nice.
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah.
if you're ever in Ljubljana, maybe we can meet up here.
But are you studying there, or?
Yes, I'm writing my master's thesis.
Your master thesis. So I really don't like that city, but if you are coming to the coast, more to the south, let me know.
Okay, no problem. I'll let you know.
Okay, wonderful. So here, I mean, for example, on the, if Maya or Jochen I see as well, if you guys want to host a training, then what we can do is on the Community Catalysts Slack, we'll try and migrate it as fast as possible, but if in the meantime, we'll use the old one, but we can upload our application, for example, and you can borrow it, hack it. We even have it on a Google Drive that you can use. It's easy to work. So that's an option. So, and maybe
sorry, Eric,
yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm aware of what application are you talking about.
Oh, sorry. This, for example, this course is funded by the European Union through the Erasmus Key Action 1. So it's called a K1. Sorry, I say it really fast. And so it's the easiest European application to apply for. It's still complicated, but it's quite easy once you do it at least once. And so this is something that people can get warmed up with doing exchanges. And it's great for meeting and sharing ideas between different initiatives. Like if you have a cool project going on in the summer, you can apply for this K1, Erasmus Plus K1 or Key Action 1, and invite people from activists or educators from 4 or 5 other countries to participate, to learn with you, or to create with you. Yeah. So that's something we can upload if that's of interest to the. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or ideas on how we can continue sharing? So there's the collab, the Erasmus Plus. Any other ideas? We still have time. Or questions?
I don't know. I'm going with imagination, and I'm thinking somehow kind of mutual trainership. Like we have surely different competence and different time and season of working. So maybe it would be nice, like to have like a period of going in a like it happens like with SVE, for example, or Solidarity Corps, but also like in an informal way, like to go to an organization and do some work there and then receive another expert, for example, to do other works in our organization. I don't know, I'm just running with imagination. I don't know.
This is writing it all down in the mural. This is good. Thank you, Julia. So these are things that we can follow up with. For example, as we're involved with another association. So if people are interested, we can also do another K1 if people want to, for example, travel to visit here, and we can do workshops and with a focus. So that we can suggest also on the Slack. But if people here would be interested in that, we can explore that now and just jot down a few notes.
Oh, another question. Do we, or can we, or do we get any, not certificate, but just how it is about participation, any kind of like you will participate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It will be in the Resilient Earth certificate, but because if you're under 30, we can generate a youth pass, which is also a European recognized certificate. But so Alex, actually, if you could note that down for the next email. So if you indicate if you're under 30, then we can just get all the information and generate that for you. And that's a European certificate for participating in this course. And then what we can do is what we do with other courses, just a certificate as a cooperative in Spain, certifying that you participated.
And if you are above 30?
It would just be the resilience.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that one, because I know a lot of people are a little bit older. So. And Mirjana asks about the toolkits. Sorry, just a second, it disappeared on me. Yeah, I mean, the toolkits and the cards. Mirjana, do you mind explaining it just a little bit more, the question? Is it to be able to print or to use? I'm not quite sure. Mirjana, I can't hear you. Sorry, do you mind? I wasn't quite sure about the question. Okay. Well, with the tools, this is something that we've given you. We really went into the frameworks, like the meta frameworks of the toolkit. So the tools rather are, we've touched on some of them, but not all of them, because there are many. So yeah, we encourage you to use them, to print them. It doesn't cost that much. I think it's around 15 euros, at least in Spain, to print the whole package. And there are things that you can use with the groups that you run with, etc. I hope that answers that question. Anything else before we get to the next part?
I have a question to everybody. Now I feel like we need to practice all this that we've learned before we forget it. You know? If you don't train things, then I at least have a tendency to forget things. And how are you people gonna practice it? I have a facilitation already the day after tomorrow that I'm super excited about with my organization to help creating more structure. But then what else? I mean, how can we offer our service to others without sounding too silly?
Sorry, to support each other or to sell your services, for example, to a local municipality, you mean?
Yeah, the second.
Okay, here it is a little bit what we were talking about last week. So, but it's all, the whole process really is how you would approach a municipality or a community group. But here it is looking to see what the needs are, and also meeting with a community group or a municipality, and especially small municipalities here. Again, this is an example more from Spain, but I think it's similar, at least in France and Italy, that if they're small municipalities, they don't actually have a lot of capacity. So if you go in there hand in hand and support them in their application process, for example, like to get a little bit of funding to pay for your services, it's what we have found very, very, very welcome and mutually beneficial, obviously. So that's one thing. For example, just keeping an eye out, like what Maya was saying about the Italian law around social solidarity economy has actually freed up lots of funding for social solidarity economy in Italy, which is amazing. Same thing has happened in Spain. And I'm sure in Denmark as well, there's probably some pretty radical things happening in terms of like funding, creative and regenerative funding pots. And yeah, it's sometimes just a question of approaching them, saying, I see that this is happening, or would you like us to support you in finding out what the needs are of your community, and going from there. Yeah, establishing relationships with the activists, with the social, and it also is much better if you're going forwards as a collective, which I think you all have, right? Yeah. Good question. I don't know if that answered it. Very short answer, but that. Jochen and Jona?
Yeah, I was wondering, is there any plans to do this course in Spanish language?
We do this course quite a bit actually in Catalan, but locally, but we have all the material. Well, I guess you know that already, but we have all the material in Spanish. And if there's an opportunity, we've done it in many languages. Yeah. So if there are people who want to host something like this, we can, obviously they can use all the material. If they want us to come, we're not very expensive. So we can come and support, and what we like to do is co-facilitate with other people, so that other people have that experience of training, and then they can just take off and do and change it also, and do the training in their own language, etc.
So did you do it once in a instead of one Monday, like in a continuous training, like in 1-2 weeks or 3 weeks, all the material?
This is the first time we've done it every Monday, and in fact that's one of our questions we have for you. We're not really good with this. It's like, yeah, because, well, we like we're very physical. But yeah, it's usually we've done different modules of two days, weekends, 1 week, up to 10 days. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in like something 10 days, no?
Yeah. Yeah. This one is a bit longer. Yeah. If we were to do all the practice. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay, so I'm aware it's almost 5:30. I don't know if there's any other questions. I might start noting some of these ideas down, but again, like we're really, really open to any kind of proposal, indecent and otherwise. So if you have something fun.
Yeah, Erica, like you said about like the co facilitation, and like I see like in my organizations, we really need like to get aware of many tools on the social aspect and organization, because we are like more in the permaculture field, but we are maybe much more aware about ecology stuff and like how to deal with systems, but not really with human system. So we go really slow, and what you said, like a kind of this course, it really called my attention, thinking about my permaculture web, for example. But like we don't have, we decided to don't found an association for our movement because many reasons. So like I'm trying to understand how it can work, like to make a kind of training without an association, because for KA1 or 2, I think you need an association, a legal association, I think.
No. Yeah, you would. Yeah. You would definitely need an association, but also you could work with other people. Like you have Palmanana there that could also serve as an umbrella, and you could co-work or co-collaborate there. Yeah. But yeah, and Eulalia, for to answer your question on the chat, I mean, this is information and tools and stuff for you to use, and we encourage you to test it out, play with it, and go beyond. Yeah, we're no one to say what, you know, yes, now you can do it, or no, you can't. We think everybody can, so it's really, yeah, we encourage you to go forward. Yeah.
But Erica, when you designed and created this course, this training, what exactly did you have in mind? What expectations did you have, or actions you would expect from us?
For us, mostly it was for you to start thinking regeneratively. That was the main purpose of the course, was if we're able to understand that our impact can be hugely regenerative, that we are all capable of finding those leverage points, activating those leverage points, and working with communities to do that collectively, then I mean that was kind of our main goal. To do that, so that's why we really focused on frameworks. We asked you hopefully difficult questions, which made your you know, you have to think a little bit more, generative questions, and then a little bit of the tools. But we, like what we have found, because it was such a limited hours, like in a face-to-face course, it's a lot more hours. So we would do theory and a lot of practice. But here, that was what the homework was about, was like start getting familiar with the tools, test it out in your own life or community, and then come back and we can talk about it. But yeah, our main thing was and this is what we see, in fact, because we do lots of accompaniment with communities, local groups, is it takes a cycle, like a 4 seasons sometimes, for people to really have these frameworks settle and be able to integrate them in that, you know, deeply transformative, regenerative way in their own work. Yeah. So
Thank you.
So yeah, what would it be, like the 26th of April 2022? It's yeah, you can really map, like we've seen it in communities where it's like it's this kind of slow, I don't know if you've ever seen a bamboo grow. Yeah, so it's like 7 years underground, great, you know, gaining those, you know, that strength to grow, and then in like, you know, 7 days it shoots up several meters tall, you know. So that's kind of what we're building right now. So, any other ideas? Okay, so maybe we'll move. Again, you can ask via email or on the Slack. I'm starting to be a little bit more alive on the Slack, as is Oscar. But I would like to invite you to the participatory evaluation part. So we have here 7 questions. Yeah, thank you, Alex. So here, it was just maybe to do a bit of a round of if people want to grab Post-its and note them down, and we can also create a little bit of a round here just to gather information. So the first question is, for those who don't have access to it, what did you learn that has made a difference in how you understand change processes at the community level?
That's a complicated question.
Yeah. Yeah. So it might be.
Do you want us to talk about it or to write it down?
Well, you can do, if you can do both, especially for those who are going to be joining afterwards. Yeah, I invite you to answer in here. I'm just worried actually about the time because it's already 35. I'm so sorry. What content, I'll read the 4 questions. So the next one is, what content would you change for future Community Catalyst trainings? The next one is, what would you add to future Community Catalyst trainings? And then the last one, oh, sorry, then I repeated it. I meant to put, yeah, actually, you know what, I'll take out the last one. I'll put here any other comment. Yeah. So maybe if you want a couple moments to write, and then we can gather some. Okay. So I hear leverage points. So more practice would have been useful. Some Cavan biscuits for the last day. Totally. Yeah. So maybe we can, I don't know, somebody who hasn't been able to participate like verbally, if anybody else like Gerard or Laura, if there's something you would, maybe you can grab one reflection, Lemmy, Kevin, Miriana. So Miriana asks if there was the same training but in person. So the one with the practice, could we still apply? Of course you can. Absolutely. Yeah. It's a lot more fun. I'm so sad we had to do it virtually, I have to say. We usually have a whole we pack a house and in the mountains and have lots of fun practicing. So maybe while people are filling things in, we usually do a quick round also in our, well, because it's virtual, it has to be quick, of one thing you learned, one thing you would change, and one thing you're grateful for. So I don't know if people want to, we can do a round, and I don't know who would like to start, and then you can pass it to someone else. So again, it's maybe you just mention one thing you learned, and yeah, one thing you would change, and one thing you're grateful for. So I see, the first person I see is Eulalia, so I'm going to pass it to you. Estás en silencio.
Yes. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Once again, one thing I have learned, one thing I would change from the training, and one thing
you're grateful for. Yeah, so it's a bit of a gratitude round as well.
Yes. Well, I have learned a lot. It has been several sessions of like expanding paradigms. Just the beginning with the regenerative spiral was like putting words into different initiatives that I have seen happening, putting them in a like a scale or in a spiral. That was very, and seeing the potential also, because I thought that what I was doing was quite cool, but seeing a higher potential was also very interesting. Something I would change from the training, well, yeah, being it being online was like, of course, limiting, but at the same time, it gave us the opportunity to come. It's not sure we would have been able to come to Catalonia at this time. So I'm grateful for that. Maybe the sessions, for those who couldn't participate in the session, I think that you could have sent them the same day or the day after. I think they came, or the emails from you came always by the weekend, you know. So there was very little time between we got your emails with a reminder of the homework and like this until the next session. And maybe we could also have had more examples of like, but maybe it wasn't possible, like, but the opportunity of using all these models. That's something that would have been interesting. Maybe not possible in this format, but I feel that that it's still very mental, everything that we have learned. And I'm super grateful for having like for the wholeness. It's something that I had felt the calling for a long time to learn more about people and organizations and how to help organizations and like this. And I feel it's the first step on a learning journey that I have taken, that it's super motivating and interesting.
Okay, super, thank you. Okay, and who to pass to?
Should I pass it on to somebody?
Yeah, if the person on your
yes,
left or right.
See Johan and Jone.
And I don't want to rush you guys, but I'd love to hear from everybody. So maybe just like in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I already started while listening and while once in a while give some translation to Yone. This is really multi-level. But I couldn't give too much translation to her because there was no space. No, I mean, translating something was not listening to the next part. So she yeah. Sí, bueno,
daban la posibilidad de que hubiese material en castellano y en catalán.
El material sí está en catalán, pero ya el curso no. So I did already some work on the paper to have an answer to that three question. So from my side, what I most resulted to have learned is the consciousness about the multidisciplinary, multi-level complexity. And so that it was a big inspiration, the mural and all the kind of visual exposition methods to communicate this big level of things. No, it's not black and white. It's not just sustainable. No, it's a lot more. And this is a big inspiration that I get out of the material we worked on. The thing I would change, the language. I would love to do it again in Spanish, not only for me, also for her, and because it is. I have the feeling I couldn't follow too fast and too active the whole story, and I would like to do it with more engagement. And the big thanks is especially to Resilience Earth, to you three over there, getting to know activists in such level of maturance, I would say, such a with such a concrete project to empower and to help others and still move all the things in. I saw how you are bound to your region, to your place. So great thanks and toda nuestra admiración. Hope to be able to do many more things together. This is for my part. So for she couldn't even understand what I say. So
yo sí, admirar vuestro trabajo, vuestra fortaleza. Pues siento que habéis cuestionado muchas cosas, las habéis vivido y habéis cuestionado muchas cosas, y admiro cómo habéis sido capaces de plasmar toda vuestra visión en esta formación. Me parece muy interesante y sobre todo la idea de darnos la oportunidad de cuestionarnos y de asumir nosotros la responsabilidad del cambio. Eso lo admiro mucho. Y luego, pues la única dificultad, bueno, o lo que cambiaría es darle otro tipo de continuidad más allá. Cuando hemos digerido todo el material y lo tenemos más hecho nosotros, aprender a poderlo llevar más lejos, transformarse, regeneradores con ello también. Gracias, muchas gracias. Y a la gente que habéis estado también, encantada. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. So just highlighting a little bit also gratitude as well from Yone. I'm aware, Alex, you might have to leave now. Do you want me just to stay on and I join in at 6 on the other one?
Yeah, please, Erica.
Okay. All right, so maybe we can do a big love to Alex and also Danny, because they're going to have to go to the next facilitation that we're doing right now at 6.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Much. I will miss you in the Mondays. So take care and hope to see you soon. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Big love. Okay, so who do you have on your